Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with another live stream. The 31st of August, the last day of August, heading into September. And wow, isn't the year going quickly? That's all I can say on the matter. Another live stream today. We're going to have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press, stories that have been sent through by viewers as well. Thank you very much for that. I'll thank the people individually as we go through those stories. And we'll also have a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently, what people have been discussing in that comment section. And then the second half of today's video, we'll go into the live chat that I have here and see what is happening there. So if you want to participate in the chat, if you've got anything to say, feel free to write it in that chat section. Now, into the news I go, the first piece of news today, and it is that the Junta de Andalucia's delegate for agriculture admits that the water shortage situation is already worse than the great drought of 1995. In a visit to Almacha in Malaga province on Tuesday, the Junta de Andalucia's provincial delegate for agriculture, Fernando Fernández Tapio Ruano, said that the water shortage situation is already worse than the devastating drought of 1995. He warned we are facing the worst drought of the century, and that with this lack of water, and we are surpassing the negative parameters of the great drought of 1995. During a meeting with the mayor of Almachar, Antonio Yuste, during the 53rd edition of the village's Ajo Blanco festival, Fernandez Tapio Ruano said that the very last of the water for irrigation from the Guadalhorce reserves was being meted out for farmers for this hydrological year, which ends on September the 30th. So the situation down there in Malaga in particular, very, very serious. And as we can see here, the Junta de Andalucia's delegate saying that it's the worst drought, or at least it's going to be worse than the drought of 1995. And if you were in that area back in 1995 and you remember that serious drought, let us know your opinion on the comparison between then and now, if you are in that area. If anybody out there is in that area down there in Malaga, let us know. And that article was sent through by Martin. So thanks, Martin, for sending that article and bringing that article to my attention. Another article that was sent through here from a viewer, Jen sent this one through. We spoke yesterday about bike lanes being removed, and Cartagena is a city which is getting more money to build more bike lanes and 2 park and ride facilities. The City Council of Cartagena will expand the network of bike lanes in the municipality with almost 5 million euros obtained from the European Next Generation funds, which will allow the construction of 7 kilometres of new bike lanes and 2 new parking areas for motor vehicles, as well as new intelligent bus shelters at bus stops. In this way, in the words of the city mayor, Noelia Arroyo, we will make significant progress in the Cartago mobility plan that we approved 2 years ago to better connect the neighbourhoods with the city centre and also reach the Cartagena councils, according to municipal sources in a press release. And as I said, thanks to Jen for sending this one through. Now, the controversial debate here in Spain, bike lanes, as we saw, some cities are taking them away. That city there in Murcia, down there on the coast on the Mediterranean, Cartagena, putting more bike lanes in and also more park and ride facilities to get people out of their vehicles and onto public transport and also bicycles. And I imagine Cartagena, good weather, right? So cycling is an option down there, unlike some of the northern parts of the country where it will soon be cold, wet and windy, but Cartagena perhaps not. So more money going into that. And that's another example of the 15-minute city here in Spain. I think Cartagena is one of the best examples of the 15-minute city. Lots of 15-minute cities here in Spain where people can get to and from the things that they need to do within 15 minutes. So another example of that type of city down there. And that's what they are aiming for, according to the mayor, Ms. Arroyo. Next piece of news, this one here, again on the environment. Spain is our green country of the month, thanks to Euronews Green, but its environmental ambitions hang in the balance. free train tickets, renewables and coal plant closures, why we are celebrating Spain's environmental achievements this month. This summer's relentless heat waves, wildfires and weather extremes have thrust the climate crisis into the spotlight in Europe and beyond. The need to decarbonise our energy systems and protect our environment has never been clearer. Each country has its unique challenges and resources that influence its road to net zero. But celebrating one another's successes can help inspire and pressure our own politicians to follow suit. These are our previous green countries of the month: Albania, Denmark, Iceland, Austria and Portugal. This month we're celebrating a European country whose green ambitions hang in the balance. Spain is on the front line of the climate crisis, and it has made strides in environmental policy in recent months and years. And some people say that the strides made are not enough. Doñana down there in the south and other parts of Andalucia going through that drought at the moment, and other problems that the environment faces here in Spain. Wildfires that we've seen in Tenerife most recently, and other disasters like that, putting, as we saw here, in the balance some of the environmental ambitions that the country has. But maybe if we all get on bicycles and start riding around, we'll fix the problems, or maybe not, don't know. Another one here, the fine for not having the civil liability insurance of the new animal law, which, as we know, comes into force soon. Less than a month after the entry into force of the new animal welfare law, there are still many questions to be answered. We know that the intention of the law is clear, to protect the rights of pets and avoid situations of abuse or abandonment, but animal owners still have some doubts to resolve. The new law, passed last March, comes into force next September, from which date it will be compulsory for dog owners to take out civil liability insurance, regardless of their size, breed or age. It's a similar regulation to that already in place in communities such as Madrid and the Basque Country. According to industry estimates, insurance for small dogs could be between 20 and 50 euros per year, while policies for dangerous dogs, which were already compulsory, range from 50 to 100 euros per year. Fine for not having insurance: dog owners who do not have liability insurance are liable to fines of between 500 and 10,000 euros. Now, I went to the vet the other day, spoke to the vet, and we spoke about this new insurance, and they told me that yes, up until, well, currently a lot of pets were included in home insurance, but that is going to change, so keep that in mind, from the 28th apparently. And when the new law kicks in, people will be obliged to have a separate insurance for civil liability. Now, there's going to be lots of special offers, they told me. Lots of insurance companies are going to be putting out deals to try and get you into their services, but those are some of the prices that we saw there. And I asked, how is it going to be enforced? What is going to happen if you don't get the insurance? And they told me that, well, the Civil Guard and the National Police, and also the local police, if you have a local police in your town, will be responsible for making sure that people have this civil liability insurance. And I said, well, I've been living in Spain many, many years, and nobody has ever asked me to show dog credentials. And they said, well, they're going to start cracking down on this. And they gave the example of one person who was walking in the countryside in Extremadura, got pulled over by, well, the Guardia Civil pulled up in their 4x4 and asked him for the dog's papers. And luckily he had the everything that he needed in order. Chip and things like that. And of course, from September, you'll have to have this civil liability insurance. So that's how it's going to be enforced. And if you don't have all of the correct paperwork, fines, as we saw there, what were they? Just let me check again. Between 500 and 10,000 euros. And I was told another story of a woman whose dog bit a waiter in Cádiz, and she didn't have the correct paperwork with her and was fined 800 euros. So that's what's going to happen. Now, let's go into the comment section and check out what's happening there today. This one here from Joe. My favourite city in the whole of Spain is Valencia. It's flat, has an amazing transport system, and it's connected. It's got history and bucket loads, museums, exhibitions, concerts, gigs, one of the best jazz clubs in Europe. It's got miles and miles of beach, boardwalks, marina, restaurants, hotel, fallas, and if you like your animals captive, zoos, marine aquariums, and so much architecture, from ancient to very modern. I love Valencia, and thanks, Stu, for your brilliant broadcast. Thank you very much, Joe, for tuning in, and thanks for the comment. And this popped up yesterday because somebody started the Barcelona-Madrid debate, and I might have asked which city people prefer here in Spain. Valencia was a popular choice. Barcelona didn't get much love yesterday, I have to say. Only a few people supporting Barcelona. Lots of love for Madrid, but Barcelona not so much. And somebody, I think, said that Madrid is a city where Spaniards go, and Barcelona is a city where foreigners go or tourists go. So that could be a way to describe the cities. Another comment here from the social media scientist, MBE. Maybe Rubiales' mother in the church is just training for the Seville Bocadillo challenge. Yeah, it could be. But apparently she has left the church. The latest update on Rubiales' mother. Rubiales, of course, the Spanish football, or the former. Well, he's suspended at the moment, so I don't know whether he's the former or suspended or whether he's still in the position. But his mother, in protest, decided to go into a church and start a hunger strike. 40 or 50 hours into it, she was yesterday taken to hospital. She has been released from hospital, which is good news, and now apparently she's back home again. But jokes aside, we obviously related to that other challenge that we saw yesterday, the Bocadillo challenge, where you have to knock off a 1.5 kilogram bocadillo or roll in 20 minutes to win a prize. And but Ms. or Luis's mother, not sure what her surname would be. It wouldn't be Rubiales, but she apparently is recovering at home after that hunger strike came to an end. But probably still not happy that her son is in the spotlight still. Another one here from Mike. They spend a lot of money to put in bike lanes, and they spend a lot of money to remove them. Somebody is making a lot of money, says Mike. Yeah, well, somebody. Yeah, obviously the company that does the council works is the one who's cashing in at the moment, because as we saw in Elche, they put them in, then they take them out. And I think that's happening in other cities as well, where the government has changed in the last couple of months. But we saw Cartagena spending more money to put more bike lanes in. So somebody's obviously going to win the contract for that, the concession for that, and obviously will make a tidy profit with those European next generation funds that are being spent on things like bike lanes. Another comment here from One Wealth AM. Leading the pack by a mile, Stuart. Your news and updates on Spain, Balearics, Canaries and Portugal are top-notch, informative and entertaining always, buddy. Always happy to meet up when you're back in Portugal for a few beers or a rum and cokes. Rain forecasted in Portugal over the coming weeks. Fires under control. Good to hear that the fires are under control. Rain is forecasted. And One Wealth, yeah, I think One Wealth might have sent me an email or got in contact some other way and did offer a rum and coke the next time I'm passing through Portugal. I think living close to the Castelo Branco area, so I might take one notch up on that offer. But yeah, the weather is changing. A little bit warm here in Madrid today, but I think it's temperatures are dropping off in coming days and getting down to some cooler temperature. But good to see in Portugal that the fire situation this summer, at least, wasn't as bad as some other summers, I don't think, even though there were some flare-ups around the country. I don't think they had the same levels of devastation that they have had in previous years, which is positive. Another one here from Kelly, watching from a plane leaving to Korea. Thanks for keeping me abreast of the politics and goings on as I get ready to retire here. Always a pleasure, Stuart or Stuart. Yeah, the second there, the STU is the way I spell my name. Thanks, Kelly. And leaving Spain for Korea? Or let us know. But obviously has an interest in Spain. So thanks for watching and tuning in. Always appreciated. Another one here from Heidi, getting through the comments. Hi, Stu. My daughter used one of these platforms to book a piso or apartment in Bilbao, only to find it was a converted garage and also left in a filthy state by previous occupants. So they were told by owners who never even bothered to clean in between. My daughter left and got her money back from the booking platform, luckily, but still had to find new accommodation for their stay. This is related to something we saw about Airbnb and other online platforms. Somebody asked if they are trustworthy whether you you get the place that you book. And I said that there have been some incidents where people have showed up and the place doesn't exist. Those are the ones that normally make the news. People, book the accommodation online. Pictures are there. They get in contact with somebody, obviously, because I think that's the way Airbnb works. You get in contact, but of course, when you show up, it's all false. It's all a hoax, and people are left out of pocket. And an example that I know from somebody, a personal example of this, was that they booked a house in Malaga through Booking, I think it was, the platform. And when they got there, there were other people in the accommodation, so they had to find somewhere quickly as well, because if you're traveling from Madrid to Malaga, it's a 500 or 600 kilometer trip, and you don't want to be spending the night at the bus station, do you? So that was an inconvenience for them as well. But I think in that case, they got their money back. Not sure about the ones that were in the press about Airbnb and non-existent properties. And Heidi pointing out here that her daughter used the platform to book a place in Bilbao, but it was a filthy garage. So maybe not living up to the pictures that were shown. But luckily, got the money back, which was important. Another one here from Carive. Stuart, don't you have ceiling fans? My ceiling fan is my best friend on these hot nights in Pasadena, where it's still 29 degrees Celsius at night. Wow, that's hot. Great content as usual. Thank you again. Yeah, don't have a ceiling fan. We have a ceiling fan in one room, and to be honest, I'm not a fan of the ceiling fan, if that makes sense. Not a fan of the ceiling fan. Sometimes I just like a little portable one that you can bring into the room and turn on, turn off, or one of these ones that turns off after a few hours rather than be on all night. But ceiling fans, what I found is that some tend to make a bit too much noise, like a clicking noise. I don't know whether the one that we've got is unique in that sense. Maybe it's not fitted well, but it does make noise, and it's a little bit uncomfortable to try and fall off to sleep with that clicking, click, click, click sound that the fan makes. But again, it could be this particular fan and not all ceiling fans. But to answer the question, no. But luckily, it's not as hot as it is in Pasadena with those 29 degrees Celsius nights. That is hot. One here from Warrior for Christ 111. Anyone know about an area of Spain called Iraneta? My great-grandfather was a descendant from this land, and I would love to visit after doing the Camino. I speak Spanish and don't drink. If anyone could help me planning my journey, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, not sure what the not drinking has to do with anything here, but I'm not sure if this is the town that you're looking for. I went online and found this place called Iranieta, because of course it has the ñ, Iranieta, and it's in Navarra, a town in the municipality located in the province and autonomous community of Navarra, northern Spain. So I imagine that's the one. So if I was able to find it on Wikipedia, I'm sure that you would be able to find more information as well. But good luck with the Camino de Santiago. Now let's go into the the chat section now. Before I do, I'll just put the like icon on the screen. If you haven't hit the like icon yet, just below the video, you will find the button to do so. There's also a dislike button there where 2 people have already hit today, so obviously some haters watching the video, but feel free to hit either button. I do not care. And also, if you've got something to send me, you can send it through to spainspeaks@gmail.com. That's the address. And thanks, as I said before, to people that sent me articles today, some links to those articles that I mentioned in the earlier part of the news, and also to other people that have sent stuff through. You know who you are. Thank you very much for that. Appreciated the content input. Now, chat section. Before I go there, I'm going to change the backdrop. This one was sent through from John. This one's from John, and it's a golf course in Almeria. Can't remember exactly where it is in Almeria, but we can see there the golf course, and in the background looks like those typical plastic greenhouses. I imagine it is, being Almeria. So you can play golf and then have a nice view of the greenhouses as well, which are very common in that part of Spain, those plastic greenhouses which riddle the land down there in Almeria because of the growing conditions, where a lot of fruit and veg in this country, and European fruit and veg is grown, of course, that's sent up to those northern European countries. So thanks, John, for sending it through. And you saw the email address before. I'll just put that up on the screen again quickly, that if you've got a picture, spainspeaks@gmail.com is the email address to send the photo through to. And a nice shot there, a nice high shot. Is it from a drone, John? Let us know if it's a drone shot. Comments or chat, let's go. What have we got here? Let me scroll up to the top, see what's going on. The first one that I can see is from Renan, coming in from LA. Regular viewer is Renan. Still hot in Los Angeles after the weather, the tropical storm in some parts of California last week. And I also saw in Florida a serious hurricane rolling through there recently as well. So hope Florida viewers are okay. Jose Antonio coming in from the royal city here in Spain, saying hello to everybody. Pauline coming in too from Rojales in the Valencian community. Andrew coming in from southeast London, still cold and wet there. Hoping that we're keeping well. We are. Harriet says that Maura will have to teach me how to pronounce this word. Well, I'm not even going to pronounce it if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. James also coming in from UK, Worcester. Hope I pronounced that one correctly. Worcester. 15 degrees Celsius, 8 at night. That's chilly, 8 at night. Heating on already. What's the date? The 31st of August and the heating's on. Drinking a tasty drop of Navarra Cabernet Sauvignon. Is that pronounced okay? Sauvignon? Cabernet Sauvignon? Let me know. Here's Maura. So, as I said, not going to county something. Not sure where it is exactly. In Ireland, I believe. Thanks, Maura, for tuning in. Janet coming in from Oxford. Hopefully I've got that one right. Damp and cool. Amanda coming in from Shropshire in the UK too. Philip coming in from East Tennessee, 22 degrees Celsius there. Thanks for the videos and info. Aiming for 2 weeks in España, Portugal in early October. Well, that should be a good time to visit the country, Philip. I'm not going to lie. Early October, before the winter hits. And depending on where you're going, I suppose you'll get better weather or not. But Portugal, I think, gets some decent weather in October. I think it does. Paul coming in, joining in the live show. Made the live show today. Fantastico. Hola, amigo, says Paul. Ross coming in too from Valencia. Recent resident in Valencia is Ross. Beautiful Valencia. Miles better than Albany in the States. Average 3 days rain in September. And my daughter will arrive just in time for all three. And Bilbao embraced the Tour de France. Tour de France. Yeah, I think that was a while ago. No, last month, was it the Tour de France? Now we're in the Vuelta de España. Gigi coming in from California. Warm and sunny there. Fantastic. Erica coming in too from Terrassa. Lots of yellow warnings for heavy rains, but not a drop. Much needed rain that will be patient, or so it seems. There we go. Weather changing there. North Yorkshire viewer Richard is in the chat. Heatwave. Highs of 23. There we go. Heatwave in North Yorkshire. 23 degrees. Rains are coming to Spain this weekend, according to Jose Antonio. There we go. So we'll get some September rains. Some September rains like the Guns N' Roses song. What else? Hank's coming in from California. Osawaka coming in from Oregon. Another state there in the States. Just north of California, is it not? Oregon? I think it is. That's it. Nikki also in the chat. Happy Thursday, Stuart. Thank you very much for that. JC, hola guapetones y as coming in here. Thanks, JC. What else? Let's have a look. Sucariva coming in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. 30 degrees Celsius there. I'll take that, 30 degrees. Mike coming in from Northern Virginia, 25 degrees and sunny. Very pleasant, says Mike. Good to see you, Mike. Good to see you in the chat. La sequía de 1995 fue durante la Niña. Well, there's always La Niña or El Niño. There are always these phenomenons that are affecting the weather patterns. And I think, are we in La Niña this year again? I think here in Spain, not sure. But I know in Australia it's always La Niña or El Niño, the two weather phenomenons. What else? Let's have a look here. Paul says maybe stop growing avocados and other high water consuming products then. It should be limited. Yeah, avocado is very popular crop in Malaga nowadays. Mangoes as well. And I imagine the mango is also quite a water intensive crop, but don't quote me on that considering that I'm not in the agriculture business. Mugger coming in, popping the head in before the pub quiz. Pub quiz wherever Mugger is. The old pub quiz. Joe, the Bombetto, coming in from Valencia, heading to Malaga. Terrible about the drought there. Absolutely, very, very dry. Sucadiva saying Los carriles bici son estúpidos. So not a fan of the bike lane is Sucariva syndrome. Patricia coming in from Tenerife, also a bit late, but hoping everyone is well and happy. Absolutely. US correspondent or Madrid correspondent now, because he's in Madrid, Dave is in the chat saying hello to everybody, practicing the Espanol. Quicksilver merchandise back on show. The sponsors will be happy. Absolutely, Diffie. They will be happy indeed. The logo bang smack in the middle of the screen there. I like the logo, the Quicksilver logo. It reminds me of my youth. Joe's also coming in, going to Almeria after Cartagena and taking suggestions. Maybe have to get a bike. Absolutely, Joe. Jump on a bike in Cartagena. Take advantage of those new bike lanes down there. I would. What else? Plenty of water in Galicia, says Rich. Yeah, well, it's a very wet part of the country. That's why there's water. But in other parts of the country, not so. But if we remember, Galicia, some parts of Galicia were experiencing drought, I think earlier this year or maybe last year. Can't remember exactly which year it was, but it was in recent times. Dave saying that recently read that a Spanish oil company is making jet fuel from compost. There we go. Plenty of BS on this channel, Dave, so I'm sure that we could turn that into compost. El Conquistador coming in from northeast Florida. We had a bit of wind yesterday from a hurricane that travelled across the state. There we go. We only felt the outskirts of the storm. Well, that's lucky. Only the outskirts of the storm. I think there was quite a damaging hurricane that passed through. Was it last year? I think it was. Maybe last year. Let's have a look. What else is going on? Eric has got the two cats insured. First payment due on 3rd of September. Managed to get it down to four. What's that? €4.50 for each. That's cheap. €4.50 for each. What else? Let's have a look. What else we got? Gino coming in from sunny Toronto, which is good. Patricia saying that the favourite city is Toledo. They have done a fabulous job of restoration of its very ancient buildings, now glorious. Yeah, Toledo, the old part of Toledo, I imagine you mean, Patricia, because new Toledo is nothing to look at. In fact, I haven't seen a city probably as ugly as that for a long time, but the old part of Toledo is spectacular. The new part, wow, leaves a lot to be desired. A lot to be desired. What else? Let's have a look. Flutter Girl coming in also. Thanks for the update on Mr. Rubiales' mother. Yeah, she obviously, as I said, she went into a church, started that hunger strike, got a lot of publicity trying to stick up for her son, which you would expect a mother to do. And apparently got to around 50 hours, I think, and then had to be taken to hospital, maybe dehydration, whatever the other effects of not eating are. I suppose that's one of the problems, not sure. But apparently she's at home resting now, or at least that's what I read. John's saying that we've just seen a video which was on the Daily Telegraph webpage here in the UK. What video was that? Let us know. What video was that? Let's have a look. Jose Antonio is answering a question here. Piso es apartamento en toda España, no solamente en Bilbao, para la persona que lo dijo. What else? Todd coming in also. Hello all. Thank you, Stu, for your amazing channel. Helps me feel in touch with family and friends in Torrejón de Ardoz, which is not far from where I am, Todd. Big new shopping centre popped up very close to Torrejón, which people are raving about, called the Oasis with a Z on the end. oasis. But I haven't been there myself. I was speaking to somebody there. They're saying people are coming from far away to go to the new shopping centre there. John, again with this video. Haven't I seen it in Spain? It shows Jenny laughing with her teammates about el beso. She's showing the pictures while they all chant beso, beso, beso. She doesn't look offended to me. Yeah, I think I have seen that video. Yeah, it's popping up now. It was taken from someone's social media. And it does show the women on the flight home, I think it was, laughing about the event. Yeah, I don't think we've heard from Jenny. I think she's got somebody representing her, but I imagine that she's under constant pressure from certain people in the government to lay some type of formal complaint. I think that's what they're trying to get out of her, but she's leaving it in the hands of her representatives, the union representatives, I believe. But yeah, I have seen the video, but yeah. Harriet saying, have I had air conditioning? Have I still not had air conditioning installed? No, Harriet, I'm trying to hold off. I don't like air conditioning. So if I can avoid another year having to put it in, I will. Paul saying, that isn't a 5-bedroom piso too big to be called apartamento? Not sure. It's un apartamento. Maybe, not sure. What else? Let's have a look. Gary coming in from a mild New York, hoping that we're well. Good to see you, Gary. New York, mild there. Free Spirit has accommodation business in Andalucia. Airbnb are pretty keen on checking out tenants these days. A lot has changed these days regarding security. So it looks as though they're cracking down on some of the previous things that have happened on that platform. So thanks, Free Spirit, for that. With the accommodation business down there. If you want to give it a plug, let us know. We'll talk about your accommodation business. Pauline coming in, got heavy rain on Sunday. I've been doing a rain dance. There we go. That's good. Harriet also saying here that in Castellón, a piso is in the city, town or apartamento near the beach. There we go. City or town, apartamento near the beach. There we go. So I'm getting on the semantics of the word. Let's have a look. That type of greenhouses are called shade tents here in Tenerife because they are common, growing bananas and things like that under them, I imagine. Cynthia coming in from Dallas, Texas. Pronunciation was spot on. Thank you very much, James, for that. I'm working on my pronunciation of some of these places that pop up. Might not be 100%, but I try. Gail coming in with Chris from the Costa Blanca, Javier to be exact. Love the updates, lovely day, but rain storms forecast for the weekend. Good to see you guys. Marianne coming in regarding the thumbs down reactions. They may include some inadvertent incidents. There have been times when my fat fingers have mistakenly hit the wrong button when I noticed. Yeah, I don't take it too seriously. If there was a lot of them, Marianne, I'd probably worry, but there's always more thumbs up than thumbs down, so I'll take that as feedback. Picture was from the balcony. There we go. So it's not a drone shot. I thought it might have been a drone shot, but it's a balcony shot, so obviously quite high up. Some nice coastal shots as well there. Thanks, John, for that. Pauline, heating on what? I don't know what that's comment's referring to. Got no idea. Slight Aussie twang in the pronunciation, says Patricia. Yeah, slight Aussie twang, not as strong as it used to be, of course. That's what happens when you don't live in the country for a long time. It sort of comes more neutral. I think there are still some things that make me stand out, especially some of the vowel sounds, like when Kiwi speak, for example, with the fush and chups. You'll always know that it's a Kiwi. But, yeah, there are some vowel differences, of course, that we have in Australia, which sort of make people think that I might be from there. Julie's coming in from, okay, this is the Free Spirit, the accommodation. Algodonales in southern Spain. We'll check it out. Sounds like a nice place. Algodonales. Do I get gota fria in this area? I think gota fria is more more common in the Mediterranean areas, but they call them danas nowadays, and they do happen all over some parts of the country. As I said, the Mediterranean here as well. We have used, well, that term has been used here. As I said, it's called a dana more so nowadays, the D-A-N-A. That is what the Weather Bureau will warn people of, the dana. Joaquin saying that they say it will rain heavily soon enough. Spaniard here. Thanks, Joaquin. Rain is what he means there. Thanks for correcting. Good to see you, Joaquin. Almeria is a disaster. Water for golf courses and plastic greenhouses. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, though. It's a shame that the urbanistic side leaves a little bit to be desired. Greetings from Sierra, Iranieta Navarro, Opus Dei Landia. Well, I think that was the case before, wasn't it? That person seemed to be a religious chap. Doing the Camino, and even in the name of the of his handle on YouTube, I think had some mention of religion in it. So probably Opus Dei is the group that he belongs to. Kathy coming in from Xereco Playa, Valencia. Sad to see everything winding way down. Not sure how much longer I'll be here. It's still quite nice. Well, the weather will be nice, but we know that when September hits, the Madrileños primarily all head back to the city, Madrid. Kids go back to school next week. I think the 7th is when school starts. So people start to leave these coastal resorts. A few people sneak in looking for a cheaper holiday come September, of course, but not the same volume of people in September as you get in late July, August. Water is not plentiful in Galicia at the moment. There we go. I think somebody said that it was, but obviously not. Sani coming in, just caught up with last night's live stream. Rosa back in the UK is currently watching on Facebook. Cheap insurance for cats, $4.50. Looks like it's got the cat's whiskers, says Paul. Thank you very much for that. Apartamento is Spanglish, says Sucariva Syndrome. Really? Spanglish? Apartamento? Could be. Who knows? But again, Jose Antonio saying here that it comes from Latin. Yeah, apartment comes from Latin. Probably does. A lot of words come from Latin. That's right. Quentin coming in from Perth, Australia. Quentin Calleja. Glad to see you and hear the news lately. Thanks, Quentin, for that. 28 degrees in Perth. Wow. 31st of August, and it's already 28 degrees down there. Perfect one day, paradise one day. No, what is it they say? Perfect one day, paradise the next, or something. Todd saying that Oasis, with the Z, Oasis, was a pretty nice shopping centre, visually pleasing. The ones in Seattle are so outdated. Yeah, well, this is only built in the last year, I think, or opened in the last year, so we imagine it's fairly modern. It's all in this, what they call the Corredor de Henares, the river Henares, and what they call the Henares corridor. Lots of shopping areas on that street between Madrid and Alcalá de Henares, if you know that part, if you head out on the Barcelona road. Very busy area, and this is the latest addition, this Oasis shopping centre where Todd's relatives live. Yeah, Stuart is the way I spell my name, as opposed to the Stewart, Jimmy Stewart thing. But I always say, when people here ask me my name, I always, people used to understand when I used to say, like Jimmy Stewart, but the younger generations have never heard of Jimmy Stewart. So I have to look for another one. Rod Stewart I used to say as well. Como te llamas? Stewart, como Rod Stewart. But people haven't even heard of him nowadays either. So I'm trying to look for a new Stewart that I can find people to relate to. Flutter Girl asking for people to hit the like button. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter, but if you want to hit the like button, you can. I always ask people to do so because it's a good metric, if you like buttons. But nearly 200 people watching, so people have tuned in, which is where I'm going to wrap the live stream up. The comments have dried up, or the chat section has dried up, so no more chats coming in there. So I'll start to say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for participating in the chat section. Thanks to people in recent times. I'll just put this on the screen. Thanks to people in recent times that have supported the channel. I always appreciate the support, whether it's a super thanks, buying me a coffee, or Patreon, the longer term supporters. Thank you very much for that. There it is there, the thank you support button. So as I said, I'll wrap it up. Stuart Little. Yes, that's also one that worked for a while. Stuart Little. It's the correct spelling, Grant, as you point out there. But I'm afraid that even probably some of the generations coming through haven't even heard of Stuart Little. I don't know. But it's a good one to use going forward, I think. So as I said, thank you very much for watching today. Thanks for participating in the chat. Thanks for supporting the channel in general. I'll see everybody again on Sunday evening with another live stream. Hasta entonces, hasta luego. Adiós. Buenas noches.